loads of colors, different jackets and different pants, and everything was just in different colors. Nothing that fits, nothing. It didn't look very good, but it was so much colors. I rented a horse and that I competed with, jumping and dressage. I was like what I've been all my life, like, I wonder what's gonna happen. I don't really know. And it's like something happens, and then I just jump on it.
Hey!
There she is! Good morning.
Welcome.
It's still dark outside.
Yeah.
Today we talk with Michaela. What we know about her so far is that she worked in a lot of high-end restaurants in Stockholm, and now she actually has her own cozy restaurant here in Duved called Mrs. Maggie. We can't wait to get to know more about her together with you guys.
The first thing I've noticed, well, it's not 100% true, but you're not wearing that much pink today. It's just a little bit of detail in the earrings, and that's it.
I missed that, sorry. Yeah, no, I'm not always pink.
Not always pink,
No.
but your car is kind of pink.
Yeah,
Oh.
that one's always pink.
Is there a reason for the pinkness, or is it just to be pink?
No, I just think I started with pink a little bit, and then more and more, and then Emil started with it a lot.
Emil is
And we lived in...
your husband, right?
Yeah, my husband. And we lived in Stockholm, and when he was starting wearing like pink shirts, everybody was like, "Oh my God, men can't wear pink shirts." Guess how old we are. But that's where it started.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
And it never went away.
No, exactly. And he just went on, and he went totally into it.
So he's more the pink side of your family.
But almost, isn't he?
Yeah, it could be.
He's always pink.
And also it transferred a bit into the kids, or not? Like I saw a little bit
Yeah,
of the
when they were younger,
hairstyles,
when they were small and we could decide, then it's very much we who decide.
Yeah,
Now it's a little bit.
a little bit.
Yeah. Mostly maybe the hair, maybe a hat. Lucas is going away from it. He's totally black.
Yeah.
But sometimes
Ooh.
the pink shirt.
I just want to say maybe that's the love language of the kids to you guys. When they like you, they're like, "Oh, I'll put some pink in there just for mom and dad."
Yeah, but they like it. Something like, but not too much. He doesn't wear pink trousers anymore.
It's a bit eccentric in a way.
Yeah.
Have you always been like that as a kid as well?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I see when I was 14 and I was out skiing, I was like just loads of colors, different jackets and different pants, and everything was just in different colors. Nothing that fits, nothing. It didn't look very good, but it was so much colors.
And your parents?
I don't know why. No, they were quite stylish actually.
Okay.
Yeah. My mom, she liked like no. And my dad, he was, no, exactly. No, it was me.
It was you.
Yeah.
So you thought the world needs to get a bit brighter.
Yeah.
And you were part of that process.
Absolutely.
I think that's great. We need people
Spice
like
up
that.
your life.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Uppsala,
Mm.
northern of Sweden, north of Stockholm, and out on the countryside. Just a big house with my 3 brothers, my mom, my dad, and the horses. I didn't have my own until I was like 10 or 12, but I was riding all my life, or I have been riding all my life.
So the horse family, or is it just you at that point?
Horse, me, and horse mom.
Okay.
Yeah, but not the guys.
And
No.
the horses were at the house, or did you have to drive somewhere?
No,
to...
we have to drive. Yeah, like 5 minutes away.
And you just, what kind of, I've heard that there's different kind of horse riding going on. I'm allergic to horses, so I'm like the worst. What kind of did you do?
I started at the riding school, just normal plain riding school. And then when I was like 8 or 9, I rented a horse and that I competed with, jumping and dressage. And then when I was like 11, 12-ish, I got my own horse. And then I was, you're in the stable, you have your own horse, you need to do everything. Be there every morning, be there every night. I trained 2 times a day, and was out riding and doing jumping competitions and fälttävlan. What's that? And when you're in the woods jumping around.
A bit like cross country.
Cross country, exactly.
I saw that on the Olympics actually.
That was me.
Ah, yeah. Nice. It's good that you're still participating.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And no one has seen it. No one knows about it.
Undercover.
No, that was my dreams.
Was it your dream? Yeah.
Yeah.
How far did you get into your?
No, I
career?
got to I just not very far. No. I was heading for SM in jumping, but I didn't get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the reason? It was just what happened?
I got too old for my horse, or too big for my horse, because I had a pony. So I got too big for him, and I had school at the same time, and I was just at the end of school. So my mom was like, yeah, you need to sell the horse, and we're not going to buy you a new one, and you're too old for this and everything. So I was just like, where the parents start to like, you're going to get your own life soon. We don't buy a new horse. It's too big. And then it just like faded out. I needed to focus on school.
But you were still very into it. So it was kind of sad for you?
I think I was a bit bored of it, or a bit tired of it, actually. Because it wasn't that hard. It was really hard to sell him. I mean, that was my best friend. But when I finally sold him, it was, school. And then I quit school and went out working, and everything just goes on.
So it was kind of a relief as well, in a way.
Yeah. It takes a lot of time.
I think that's with a lot of people when you're young and you do hobbies for like your whole youth. And then you turn 16, 18, I don't know, you see new interests. And
yeah, exactly.
Life goes on.
Yeah, and something else opens up. Always.
Yeah, new things happening. Parties.
Boys.
Boys.
I don't know. A boys party. Yeah. Something else. Yeah.
So what did turn up then after horseback riding?
But then I got my first job in Stockholm, in Uppsala. And that was, I worked at a telemarketing company selling economic books, where you like read about how companies are going and which companies you should do business with. And everyone I phoned, they were like, yeah, you have that on a CD-ROM now. You know that? And I'm like, yeah, I've heard about that. What is that CD-ROM? It's so good because you can get CD-ROM twice a year instead of that book once a year. It's like, yeah, why am I selling this shit? It's so old that it's like, it was just like going out of time. Yeah. And they wanted to sell like the 100 last ones.
Okay.
But after like 4 or 5 months, I got fired because I was so bad at selling them. My boss was like, yeah, you're so happy and you're so good and it's so nice, everything, but you don't sell anything. And that's why you're here. So it's like, it doesn't really work. And I'm like, no, but you're giving me something that's impossible to sell. So why, like, and then I got really like, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. I need to do something else.
So you're quite young then? What was the age?
I was 18.
18. So you didn't go to university or studied
not
else?
University, no, gymnasiet.
Yeah.
Only, yeah.
You never wanted to, or was it just a conscious decision to go straight into work?
No, I think I was going to, but I wasn't. No, I wasn't like I'm going to be a doctor or I'm going to be this. I was like what I've been all my life. Like, I wonder what's going to happen. I don't really know, and it's like something happens, and then I just jump on it.
Yeah. What did you do in gymnasium? Which
samhällsvetenskaplig linje.
What? Sorry, can you explain
that? So it's like where you become nothing.
Okay.
It's you can either choose. You could choose like technique line, and then you're a really good technician, or the nature one where you're good at math and stuff, or the one with a lot of languages, or the one where you don't do anything. You just study everything, so you can actually study at university later. And everybody's like, "That's so good. Take that one." And it sounded so good. Afterwards, I'm like, yeah, it's really the line where you don't become anything. But I can study, absolutely. But if I don't want to study,
just gives it a
it's worthless. So I should have studied the language line instead. That would have been so much better for me.
Because?
Or something else.
Yeah.
Because I love language. I love traveling.
Exactly.
But I didn't know that then because I was 18.
Yeah.
It's a hard age to make a life decision.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, what shall I do?
So then you decide, okay, I'll just go find some job and then see if I can earn some money.
Yeah, well, after this first job that I got through my mom, because I was same place as my mom, then I was going to do something and didn't really know what, but then something fell at me again, and like, so I found an ad, I think, in the paper as an au pair in France, and I was like, yeah, I can try that. You like kids? My mom was saying, like, no, I don't. I hate kids. Yeah, but au pair is just kids. Yeah, but it's in France, and I'm going to go skiing. That's the best. That's the good part, Mom. Focus on the right part now. So I got that job and it was with in Megève. So I worked for 6 months in Megève with the family Levitt, and that was the doctor of in Megève. So he was
the doctor
really
of the
posh.
town. Yeah.
How old were the kids?
Well, they
Some,
maybe
like,
for,
not like
for 4 or
babies.
5 years,
Okay.
5 years and 7, 8 years.
So they didn't speak any, because in France they don't really speak English at that age. I
No,
guess.
no one spoke English. No, not the parents either.
You didn't speak French at that time?
No, I studied it in school.
Yeah, okay, a little bit.
Yeah, so
But
I knew a little bit. I knew that the first dinner we had, then we sat there and they talked and I listened, and the kids were like, "Mom, she's so stupid. She's so stupid, this new au pair that we have, because she doesn't understand anything." And then I said in French, like, "I got that one. I read that one. I understood." And he was like, "Of course." But then we became best friends.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How did you get through that? Because it sounds like it's probably was very challenging. You're there, you don't speak the language, you do not really like kids, like you're not there for the passion of kids. So how did you make it work?
Well, there was probably I had a Swedish friend. I got a Swedish friend who was an au pair in their neighbor's place, and he was or she was. She phoned me one night, like after a few days when I arrived, and just like, "Hello, it's Christine," and I thought it was a Christine from home. So I was like, "Yeah, hi, how are you? Yeah, it's so good to hear from you." You, da da da. And she was like, "Yeah, but we don't know each other yet." "Oh, but who is it then?" "Yeah, but I'm an au pair at your neighbor's place." And they thought that we are Swedish, so we should match. We should play together. So then we started. Hanging. So we skied during the days. I didn't have the kids very much either. So it was a lot with her. We skied all the time and partied all night. And there was kids 1 hour in the morning cleaning a little bit, and then in the evening a little bit.
So it was more like a side thing, and you could just have fun and ski. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. She didn't have it as good though, but I had it really good.
This was before, how long ago are we talking about?
I was 19 years old. 1994.
20 years ago or something. More, I don't know. Anyway, it was before
1994.
I mean, travel was quite harder that way, and doing these kind of spontaneous things. Now you can just go on the internet, find a job, and like
exactly. This was like in the paper. You find an ad, and you phone, and they like you're on interview, and they see if you're good or not. And they were a family as well. They had an au pair every winter, because that's when their season was, and they worked as much. So then I was like the 5th or 6th au pair that they had. They were comparing me. So the au pair that was before me, she was the one interviewing me, saying like, "Okay, you're going to fit with this family or not." Yeah.
So yeah, that must have been quite an experience to do that at a young age that time. Like, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
You flew or you took the train?
Yeah, I flew.
Yeah. Nice.
I think so.
Yeah, but anyway.
And then after that 6 months, you went back to Sweden, or you stayed around?
No, we went to, then me and Christine, we went to England. We got a job in England through some chalet guys in France. So we went to England and worked in an activity center in South Devon. So we worked there, and we thought that general managers, that sounds so cool. I wonder what we're managing. And then when we got there, we were like, okay, now we understand. It was like a big activity center for like 100 kids. They sleep there, they eat there, they live there for like a week. And then they study the nature, and they go out doing climbing the walls and like caving and swimming and sailing and surfing and stuff. And we took care of them. So we cooked their food, and we did all the cleaning around the house. And we were so dirty. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Just bunk beds everywhere, and it was so dirty everywhere all the time. So it was like, God, every morning, like, yeah, it's so fun. Yeah, okay. You do the toilets. No, I don't do the toilets today. You can do the toilets today. So that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got out of that as still a good friendship relationship?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We did the pub as well. So in the evenings, we were standing in the pub. Not for the kids, but some older people came as well, and older people working there. So.
And did you do anything else with her after that? Like job-wise?
Yeah, we went back to, after that, we went back to France. We went to Maribel, Montaret, and worked as waitresses for 20 seasons. But after England, it was, the first season. So that's when I started in the restaurant business.
That's where you discovered.
At a restaurant called
in
Le
the
Tissable.
après-ski kind of world, or was it more like a fancy restaurant? Or
it was a small, cozy Alp restaurant.
Yeah. So not hardcore partying.
No.
That's where we
Not
met.
in our restaurant.
I was working in an après-ski bar in France when we met. More behind the bar, so that was a
cool
party scene.
Yeah.
This is your typical.
We did that after work.
Smart.
Yeah.
It's your typical Savoyard restaurant.
Yeah. It's very like the ones that I have now. That's what I'm going back to now. It's like now I'm finding my way back to where I actually started my first job. I was only working with raclette and tartiflette and pierrade and fondue.
Yeah.
So I thought I was a waitress, but when I got home, I learned that I was just a runner. Because I was doing, I was just cleaning the tables and taking all the machines. It was a lot of machines all the time. Everything was burning and everything was warm. So that was me, clearing. And then we have the sommelier who took care of the wines, and Madame who took all the orders, and Madame's daughter. Yeah, absolutely, Madame. No one else could take the orders. No. Except for when the tourists came. Michaela, can you take table number 10? Oh, they're horrible. They only speak English. I hate tourists. I'm like, yeah, okay. The runner goes and takes the tourist. Absolutely. Now I can take the orders. Yeah, no problem. So I did a little bit of that.
Because for people who don't know you yet, you have a restaurant in town, in Duved.
Yep.
The little town west of Åre. Only like a few kilometers. Where, like you say, you can eat delicious raclette and all the good stuff.
Yeah.
So how did we get from France to having a restaurant in Duved?
There must have been some steps
that's like 30
between.
years in between. Yeah. A lot of things happened there, I think. Well, God, where did that start? Well, it started in Tissable, absolutely, in Montaret. I love the work. And as my life has always gone, it's like, I don't have a goal, like I'm going there, I'm going to do this, and I have to have my 5-year plan. I'm totally like, I don't like 5-year plans. It's more like, I wonder what's going to happen now. Whoops, and then something happens. And like, well, I'll try this path. So I went, after 2 seasons, winter seasons, at the same restaurant. Then I went back to Sweden. And then my mom was like, you can just go to this little restaurant in Sigtuna and ask if they need a job, someone to work. And I'm like, no, I'm going traveling again. Yeah, but you need something just for a few weeks while you're at home. So I was like, I'll go to Sigtuna Stadshotel. And I went there and I got the work as a waitress. That's where I noticed I wasn't a waitress, but I didn't tell anyone. So I just shut up about it. And she was like, do you have any experience? Yeah, I have been 2 seasons in the Alps, no problem. I know how to do this and everything. And then like my first day when I was going to open a bottle of wine, I was like, shit, I've never opened a bottle of wine. I've just seen him doing it. Shut up, just do it. How hard can it be? And so I worked there for 2 years. And then when I was there, I met my boss. He'd been to a school called Restaurangskolan in Grythyttan, which was a really, really good restaurant school for when you're older than when you're young. And so I applied for that and I got in, and then I started there. So I studied there for 3 years.
Where is this located in Sweden?
In Grythyttan. It's 1 hour west or east of Örebro.
Okay, in that direction.
I'm in Östersund, but Örebro. Yeah, so close, just out in the forest.
And that was full-time school?
Yeah. All the days, 6 days.
Does that still exist? It
does, yeah, but it's grown so much bigger. It was very small when we were there. We were like 30, it was just like 1 year, 1 class a year. So we were only like 90 persons there in the school at all. Now it's a huge school, it's a university, and they're everywhere and everything. And it was really hard to get in as well. So we had like a test for a whole day. So I drove from Stockholm like 3 a.m. I got there at 6. We started at 7, and then it started with all kinds of things. It's like math things to do, and you had to like, you have 100 persons coming on a dinner. They need this. They need a 3-course dinner. You need to do a theme. You need to do the wines. You need to do the decor and everything. And then you're gonna you're gonna like. What do you need to say? You're gonna sell it to 6 guys, like the headmaster and everyone, Carl-Jan Granqvist, just famous people sitting there in the jury, and you have 5 minutes on you to sell this thing to them. And I'm like, I've just worked as a waitress. What is this? I hardly know what to do. But it's just to start.
That was a start.
Acting.
That was a start test. That
was a start test.
So how did you get
to get into school?
And
that was just one of the tests. We had like 10 tests during the day. You had the test where you had to do a table and just set a table for everything, and he goes around and checks it. And it was so many small tricks, like with the ashtrays, if you or the where you have the matches. He looked in the matches like, they're burnt, and you're off.
So
if you have one match
that's
burnt in the box, no.
How did you get through then? If you didn't have the experience, how did you?
I don't know.
How did you wing it?
Probably because they needed like different persons. They didn't need the ones who had the highest grades in university, kind of people. They needed different ages, different persons, different backgrounds, different stories, and everything. Because our class was like, there were people straight from school that was 19 years old, and there were people who were like 45 years old in my class. And that was really good, because during these 3 years, everybody we needed each other to do everything that.
But is it a government funded thing then, or why would they need a range of things just to pick out? I am trying to figure out.
No, it was not the government. No.
Because you say they need a range of ages and backgrounds. But
but that was mostly to give ourselves, like when you do all the courses with food and drinks and economics and marketing and stuff. I think that was to give a lot of what do you say, like the older ones would teach me the younger ones so much more.
Experience,
exactly, experience exchange.
If you put
absolutely.
90
it was
of the
really
same
good,
kind of people together, it's probably a lot harder to.
If everybody's 19, we're not gonna get anywhere. And it's like, so that was really good.
And it worked well.
Yeah.
You learned a lot then, I guess, in those
Absolutely.
3 years.
Yeah.
And what turned out? So you got out of that school, and what was your favorite part at that moment from what you learned? Like, was it the cooking part or the economics or the?
Definitely like the front of house. The
hosting.
Exactly, the hosting, the wine and the serving and the meeting people. Yeah, that's what I like.
That's what you do now as well, right?
Yeah, I'm doing a bit of cooking as well, but that's just because I have to.
Yeah, you wouldn't. You don't want to if you can.
No, I'm not good at that. It's not my strong part.
Yeah,
but that's good as well to like do things you don't like and you're not very secure with.
Mm-hmm.
I know the dining room. That's my home. I know what to say to everybody that's complaining or not and happy and whatever. I can take all the people and everything. But in the kitchen, you can't talk to the food and just tell it to do something.
Maybe one day we can.
Yeah, hopefully. Then I'm going to be really good at it. Yeah. Oh, come on, just be a little bit more, more taste. Yeah. So that's after Restauranghögskolan in Grythyttan. Then I went to get a job, and everybody was so much like, "Oh, we need a job," and I was like, "God, this again." And my friends then they were like, "Michaela, we found 3 jobs for you." Okay, what do you mean? Yeah, you have a restaurant manager at Prinsen, or a restaurant manager at Ponts in the Greenhouse, or restaurant manager at something else. I don't remember even. So I went to Stockholm for 2 interviews at the same time at Ponts in the Greenhouse and for Prinsen. And I went to Prinsen first, and I was just like, wow, this is so far from me. And Prinsen is really, really old, classic restaurant in Sweden, in Stockholm. And, everything works perfectly. Everything just like it's just like it's always been. And I was like 26. Everybody that works there was like 46, 50, worked there for 10, 15 years. And the thinking was that I was going to be their boss. I was just like, during the interview, I was just like, no, this is never going to work. I can see it on them even. Why are they going to listen to me? And what am I going to like? What am I going to give them? Oh, I don't have anything. And then I came to Pontus in the greenhouse and he was like, yeah, you're going to work your ass off. You're going to be here like 24/7. You're never going to have any time off. You're going to work all the time. And we use toothbrushes to clean the toilets and stuff. So it needs to be really, really, really clean. And then I was like, oh, this place I like. Yeah, this is probably me. So that's the job I got.
What kind of restaurant was that?
Pontus in the greenhouse was a former greenhouse. Is like a hotel in the old town in Stockholm. And Pontus was a really, really young chef who he quit his school when he was in 9th grade, 8th or 9th probably, and went around the world just cooking everywhere. He loved cooking. And then he worked with Erik Lallerstedt for a while. That was the last restaurant. And then he worked, so Erik Lallerstedt had a restaurant called Eric's there before.
Which was a famous restaurant?
Yeah,
or a good,
famous like star Guide Michelin restaurant. Yeah. Okay. And then Pontus took it over. So he was handed the restaurant. Like, here you go. Take my restaurant. You need to do my legacy and keep it forward it. And so he got his own restaurant. And then he was probably, if I was 26, he must have been like 24 or 25.
Really?
So he was one of the youngest chefs.
It's kind of special at that time, I guess, as well.
Yeah,
chefs
absolutely.
were always older. Right?
Yeah. And
did he managed it well then, I guess?
Yeah, he did. Absolutely. Yeah.
Nice. And you became
I worked there for 20
manager,
years.
The manager for the floor, or what did you do?
Yeah, I started as a hovmästare.
Sorry, what is that?
But what to say, maître d'hôte. Maître d'hôte. Yeah. So not restaurant manager, but the one before. And so I started as that. And then after, I don't know, 1 year maybe, I got the restaurant manager job. Yeah.
And it was like what they said, like 24/7.
Absolutely.
Super, super busy.
Absolutely, all the time. And then I met Emil my husband I met in Grythyttan. And he was like, yeah, Michaela, if I'm going to see you, yeah, you know where I am. I'm at work. Yeah. So, and my family as well. It's like, yeah, you can come to my work. But don't bother me when it's open because, I can't talk to you when it's open because then I have the guests. But yeah. So it was very much, I just worked.
And was that hard?
But I loved it.
You loved it, you say, but it's not, I could not see myself do that, as in the sense like, yeah, you are a very social person and yes, you can do that at work, but didn't you miss the part outside of work then? Or how did you deal with that?
Well, they became my family. So it was a lot of, we were together very much, everybody at work, because all the people working there worked a lot.
Yeah.
Even though some of them had families and stuff, but that was just like, okay, we just need to, how do we do so he can go home and get his kids from daycare? How do we do with the schedule and stuff like that? So it was very much being there. Yeah.
And as
when you stop working at 12 o'clock, we sat and ate until 3 o'clock in the morning, just eating and talking and eating. And then we went home and then you went back to work again at 9 o'clock in the morning. And that was just...
So you kind of get into like a bubble.
We probably had one day closed or something at we end.
So how did you and Emil grow then during that time?
But he was gone then, because he stayed in Grythyttan. So the first year he was 1 year under me, so he stayed there for 1 more year, and then after that he stayed another 1 or 2 years working in a really nice hotel called Camp Sävenfors, where we worked extra. But then he worked there a lot after the school. So like the first 2 or 3 years we didn't, you meet when you meet.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But he lived like 3 hours away, so that didn't really matter.
And then? What happened after those years?
What happened? Well, I stayed there for 20 years, did my thing, and he went. He came to Stockholm probably after 2 years, and moved into my apartment. And he got his own job, and he started working and stuff like that. So yeah.
Is that the art piece you have in your living room from that restaurant?
The painting. Yeah, it is. Yeah,
oh, cool. Yeah,
that's from the first book that Pontus made. He made a really good cookbook with that one. That's like the front page of the book.
Ah, nice.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Mm.
And what happened to that? Yeah, why did those 20 years end? What is the?
Well, during these 20 years, I stayed at Pontus in the greenhouse for like 7 years. So 2007, we opened a new restaurant called Pontus, where I haven't I don't even remember. But he had loads of restaurants, so he opened new restaurants all the time.
Okay.
So I helped him starting new restaurants all the time. So after a while, I was the one like, Michaela was starting a new restaurant. Okay, I went there, I did the stuff, and I put everybody in the right spot and the right places, and did all the lists and everything to like start the restaurants. And after a few years, I started at the catering firm, and that's where I like stayed for a longer while as well. And
so from him, like he made it
for him, it was him, yeah. But and then we're just doing like a lot of events and events with dinner and everything crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, that was really fun.
What was do you remember some of these events? Like what were was it extra, I mean, was it extravaganza, or was it famous people, or was it normal people?
Yeah, it was both famous people and extravaganza. And I was very like high-end things all the time.
Yeah.
Everything you do with Pontus is high-end. Yeah. It's top-notch.
Yeah.
It has to be everything. And well, something I remember that would be like Kinnevik, they were having their like 10th or 20th anniversary. So my boss, Andreas Wadlund, he was like, we need to build a tent down on down in the old town by the water. And he was like, it's totally, we can't do it, but we need to do it because she wants it. And that's Christina Stenbeck. When she wants something, you do it. It's like, yeah, okay. So how are we going to do it? Yeah, I don't know. I've looked for all the permits. I've seeked everything, and everybody says no. And I'm like, yeah, okay, this is going to be so easy. 500 people in he wanted a two stories tent, and three or five courses dinner just by the water and everything. It's like, yeah, this is going to go so well. But he did it. Yeah. I think he didn't care about the permits. So he was like, what can they do? We're going to be there for 2 days. We build it really fast. We do it, and then we just tear it down afterwards, and then it's going to be over. It's like, yeah, so fast. So we did it, and that was totally crazy, actually.
And it happened, and
it happened, and it worked. It was really, really good.
Yeah, no police coming or whatever.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then we had like rockets or fireworks out on the water, so you could see from the tent sitting there the fireworks like from the water. It looked like up in the sky, and it was really, really cool.
Yeah.
And Diana Ross was singing as well.
Diana Ross was singing. Okay.
I was going to go see her, but I had to clean I had to clean something instead. Andreas was like, Michaela, you have to go and see her. Yeah, I'm coming. I just need to do this first. And that was just like cleaning like the back of the kitchen or something. And then when I was done, I was like, oh, she's gone now. Yeah, okay. Well, it was only Diana Ross. I can see her on TV or something. But that's typically me. I'm always like, where can I be really, really dirty and like do some shit instead of like the fine, nice things?
Oh.
Yeah.
Seems contradictory to the things that you're organized then, because they are quite the fine and the nice things, and you don't get to experience them in a way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm trying a bit.
Now.
Yeah.
So now you're arranging your own reality instead of working for somebody else. You're doing it yourself now.
Yeah. I've never had the dream of doing it myself.
No?
Especially not after the this Grythyttan, then I was like, yeah, now we really know we're not going to open a restaurant because now we really know how it is.
And you mean because?
Because when you get reality like that dream, it's so nice having a restaurant. Yeah, right. Yeah, but it's so much job. It's so much work with it. It's so much around it. It's so much cost. It's so much. It's not just like open a restaurant. It's like, well, yeah, let's do it. But so it's never been my dream. I'm like, yeah, I've been working for Pontus. I worked my ass off for 20 years, and I was like, I'm not going to open my own restaurant because then I'm going to work even more. And I don't know how to do that because there is no hours left during the those 24 hours. But when we moved here, I was like, okay, we have Jämten and we have Pigo.
So
are we going to live here?
You're talking about the Duved area, right?
Yeah.
There was only
exactly.
two little.
I jumped a little bit.
Yeah, no. Just to get the image clear.
Yeah.
For the listeners that it's kind of like a small town vibe with like one bar and a restaurant at that point, and you thought there needs to be more life in this town. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
So you thought
we had one like real restaurant and then a pizzeria.
Yeah. So you thought we need to bring in more life.
Exactly.
And then
if we're going to move here, we need something more.
Yeah.
It was pretty close to Åre though, but you can't go to Åre all the time.
No.
It's like 10 minutes that way. It's so far. So we need to make Duved more alive. And then when we got here as well, we heard all the stories about Duved. It's like 20 years ago, Duved was the big thing. Åre was a small town, and Duved was the shit. That's where it's happening. That's where the vibe was. And then after a while, Åre got bigger, Duved got smaller, and Duved got very small and quiet. Åre is just growing so much, it's almost cracking.
So your life goal is to bring Duved back?
Yeah.
Nice.
Did you see my mössor? The hats I found?
No.
So cool. No. I should have brought them. But yeah. I like do that. I like I want to be a part of something and a part of something that grows. I love that.
But what are the mössor?
I found red toppluvor that says Duved. Because I've been together with Fjällsport. Fjällsport took out the first cap that says Duved, and we were like, we need more merch. We need more merch saying Duved. Everything says Åre. So we've been talking about it, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to buy some caps as well. So I have a few caps, and then I went to a loppis, and I found like really really red ones, toppluvor.
What's toppluvor?
Toppluvor, that's like a mössa, but with a little thing hanging.
Yeah, like a big
little
beanie
tops.
With a little top.
Yeah, very very small tops.
Okay.
Tops. And it says Duved. I found like five of those really really old ones.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like from the 70s. So that was just so funny. So we're gonna do more. It's gonna come more merch.
Yeah.
And was the reason for you guys to move to Åre, was it snowboarding or was there another reason behind it?
Well, we've been thinking about it. We've been living in Stockholm where, the kids grow up and it's like, okay, we're going to stay here for all our lives, living in a radhus, these houses that sit together. And we were like, yeah, as long as they were in school, everything was good. And it's like, okay, but still we can't move now. And Emil had his new job. And I was stuck at Pontus, didn't want to quit because I'm afraid of quitting, finding new jobs afterwards. After 20 years in one place, you don't want to do that. And so we were like just thinking about it. And then after a while, when the kids got bigger, they were both going to change school. And then we were like, oh, this is so good. Because our biggest guy, he was going to go to Hässelby. And they just had a murder there then. And we were like, no, they're killing each other in Hässelby, like 10 minutes from where we live. So we were like, no, we're not out. Let's move to Åre. We can go now. Yeah, he's moving school and he's moving school. And then that's great. So that's when we were like, yeah, let's do it now. So on New Year's Eve, we 4 years ago, then we had loads of wine and we bought an apartment in Tegefjäll.
Yeah.
Yeah, just before Corona. That was during the winter, Christmas, and then Corona came in March.
So you've only been here for 4 years?
So good. Yeah.
I thought you were here way longer.
Yeah.
It feels like you've been around longer than we have.
So you bought an apartment. How did the kids take it? They liked the idea to move?
It was like this. Oh, we love it, waited. We love it, waited. We love it, waited. But it was really like that. But they were so young, so we couldn't like let them
decide more.
Yeah, exactly.
How old were they?
We listened, but we didn't care.
Okay.
Is it like
Casper was gonna start 7th grade, and Lucas was gonna start 1st grade.
Yeah, okay. So for Lucas, it was a lot easier, probably.
Yeah,
than for Casper.
And for Casper as well.
Yeah?
It wasn't a problem.
Okay.
Yeah?
No.
He didn't have like a group of friends he was gonna miss or anything.
No,
but it could be an important
He had
part.
a few friends, but not too close, not too tight. It's like he was doing parkouring, and he was mostly living for what he did instead of for his friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did that change here in Åre? Did he create more friends?
It did a lot actually.
Wait 1 second, we're going too fast here. He was doing parkouring, like parkour.
Parkour. Yeah,
that's really cool.
That's what we lived for, or he lived for when he was small. I think he started when he was like. When did we move? He probably started when he was like 7 or 8, and did it until he was just before we moved, because then he broke his knee.
With
so
parkour.
Then he had to stop. Yeah. So 7 until 13.
How is it as a parent to have your kids jump off things all the time?
It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Okay.
And I just want to do it as well. And I'm like, yeah, I want to be with you when you're training. And he's like, Mom, no. Okay. I'll just sit here and watch then. So we drove him. It was like, I don't know, 5 days a week. Driving. And he trained for like 2-3 hours all the time. And it was like this. In the beginning, it was like just in what do you say, like in the schools where they have gymnastics.
Yeah.
So it was really boring. But then after like 1 year, we found a real parkour place in somewhere in Solna, where it looks like someone. No, but in industriområde, industry area.
Yeah.
And that was like they would just build from things they found, and it was it was so cool. And that's where he became a real parkour. And here they were having competitions and everything. So it was so fun.
Yeah.
He loved it. He lived for it, and he was so good.
And was it his decision to stop because of the broken knee, or was it your?
No, that was just that was in March. So we were going to move in July to Åre. So in March, then he was doing a jump at training, and he went to the hospital in ambulance and stuff. And then he broke the cross in the knee and the inside of it. And he was just totally. He was like, "My life is over, Mom. I can go and die now. This is never gonna be good. I'm never gonna heal." And we were like, "Oh my god! We're going to Åre now as well. So in 3 months you're gonna be not skiing because it was in the summer, but cycling and stuff." So it wasn't the easiest summer.
No,
having him moving to Åre, not knowing anyone, nobody's here. We were like, everybody's in Åre. That's so nice. We can meet people during the summer. Yeah, right. You don't meet anyone here. Not anyone that lives here. So it was totally empty, and it was us here. So it was like, yeah, this is good decision, Mom and Dad. And he was just on rehab, and he hated rehab. So that was actually really hard. Hard seeing him and talking about it. And he was like, "I'm never going to go snowboarding. I can't do anything." And the doctors also were like, "Yeah, you cannot snowboard. You cannot snowboard. Maybe in 1 or 2 years, and maybe this and maybe that." And we were like,
"That's depressing."
So what are we going to do? So, but when the autumn came and he started school, he got 2 really good friends who didn't ski. One of them skied, but the other one didn't ski. But somehow he started like everything he did. It started skating, and he started snowboarding and everything, and went better and better.
So he didn't He just naturally...
Yeah, he naturally
recuperated.
Recuperated and went away. It's still broken though.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. But now he's training. Now he's training a lot. So now he's like a bodybuilder, and he goes and he's snowboarding loads, and he's skating and everything. So,
because he lives in Järvsö now. Right?
Yeah, exactly. He does. The only thing he can't do he can, but he doesn't like it because that's like jumping on trampolines. Because when he jumps, then he's like, "Mom, I can feel how the knee is like going somewhere else all the time." And I'm like, "Yeah." So now everything is good with him.
But he's not doing parkour anymore. Nice. He's not.
No, not in the same thing. No, he can do a backflip standing here.
Yeah.
But only when he needs to impress someone. He's going to be a ski teacher now, and he's so funny. And I'm like, how are you going to take care of those kids? I mean, you're what are you? You're 16. You're going to be a ski teacher. And that's with kids. You have 10 kids in a class. They can't ski. And how are you going to get them to listen to you? Mom, the first thing is just to impress them. So I usually just stand there. I do backflip. And then everybody listens. It's just do it. And it's like, okay, cool.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it is actually. It's the same like he was practicing in school. And he was always with kids. And I'm like, do you really like that? And he's like, yeah, I love it. Yeah, so what do you do? I do a backflip. And then everybody's just like flies on him and they love him. And it's like, yeah, cool. Yeah, that's so fun.
Good party trick.
Yeah, very good party trick.
You get into a bar and you're like, everybody, exactly. Let me do my backflip first.
And that's so fun because... now in Järvsö, he's like, Mom, everybody loves me. All the girls, they just love me. I'm looking so good. I'm so good at snowboarding. And it's like when he moved from here, when he lived here, it wasn't that self-esteem. Now the self-esteem has gone like, okay, I'm the best.
Okay.
It's so cool.
Nice.
Nice, yeah, better than the opposite direction.
Absolutely,
It's great.
His whole life has gone like this.
Wow.
So that's good.
Yeah, in school that he chose a gymnasium that really fits with him then at this point in his life.
Absolutely, yeah. And he got to choose it just on his own. We didn't.
You didn't force him?
No, not at all. We were just like, yeah, so you're going to go to Järpen? Mom, I'm not going to Järpen. Oh, okay. Östersund then, that's going to be nice. Mom, I'm never going to Östersund, never in my life. Okay, so where are you going then? I found a place in Järvsö. Yeah, you found a place in Järvsö. Isn't that like 4 hours away? Then you need to move from home. You're 14, honey. We're going to be 15. And he's like, yeah, but that's not a problem, is it? Oh, maybe not for you, but for me it's a problem. So he moved when he was 15.
Yeah, but
we took all his stuff.
You agreed. You let him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We went there before and met the headmaster. And he was just like, yeah, it's so good, and it's this. And you start at 9:30 in the morning. You don't have to start at 8 o'clock here. And such a good school and everything. And he was just like, he fell in love. And we were like, yeah, this sounds so good. And you're just going to, you're going to have a scooter card and you're going to be a ski instructor. And we do a downhill bicycling and we're going to do mountain biking and we're going to do this. And I'm like, yeah, do you have any like math? Or normals, normal subjects. Yeah. We do that too. Yeah, okay, that's good. A lot, or yeah. It's just so you can. Everything is so you can get into university afterwards. Oh, well, that's good. That's
is it
great.
3 years or 4 years?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
And what's it called?
It's called Äventyr och turism.
Can I do it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Adventure tourism.
Yeah,
that's a good name.
It's just adventure, and they're out working with not the Åreguider, but Järvsöguiderna, and they work with them. And so, like the first year they're with them, the second year they're going to be like really working with them, and the third year they're going to do their own activities, like being the responsible ones for all the activities and stuff
with
like that.
Paying customers then?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're literally thrown into the job, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Exactly.
And then they're 18 or 17 or something at that point.
Yeah, exactly, around 18.
That's quite a bigger responsibility to start off like that.
They probably don't like hand it over totally.
No.
But that's what they are supposed to know.
Yeah. Okay.
They need to know how to do an activity, plan it economically, and then go through with it, with the guests and everything. So,
yeah, sounds like my kind of school.
Very cool.
When I would have been younger.
Good. Me too, absolutely.
Really nice.
Why didn't we have that?
And did he adjust well to the living by himself? Did it go like super easy, or did he call you
fast.
like,
"Mom, help me"? No, far too fast.
Oh.
Yeah, he grew up like this.
But it's cool. It means that you did a good job as a parent as well to give him that independence, that he was ready for it.
I hope so. Yeah. Like the last 2 years, we were like, you can cook yourself. If you want food now, then you can cook, because I'm not there. So he cooked it. He probably cooked for himself for 2 years, the last years. Having a mom and a dad working all the time is like, then you need to do it yourself if you're hungry.
And do you feel like Lucas is going to be the same, get out of there as soon as possible? Or do you think he's going to be more like close to home?
I think he's going to be a little bit more close. Stay at home a little bit more. I think so. But I don't know, because they're like, if Casper would have been 10 years, I would probably say the same. Because they were, but both of them were like Lucas. He's very like, he likes to be at home. He likes it. It's safe. It's nice to be here, and he's not like, I want to go out and do all of these things and everything all the time. He's like, no, I can stay at home. So I don't know.
But puberty is different, right? Then at that
Exactly.
point, you want to break out. Yeah, something happens.
I wouldn't think of this with Casper at all. But
and does he come back in the weekend sometimes, or do you
he did in the beginning?
Yeah,
but not anymore.
No, he's just got his own life.
Because now he's got his own life. Yeah, with everything that is including.
No.
And maybe we can cut this out if it's a too personal reason somehow behind it. But there is 6 years between the kids.
Yeah.
And I remember when I got Fenna that I felt like society pushed like, oh, I need another kid in 2 years. And then I said to Tim, I was like, I'm not sure if I'm ready for it. And we had the big bus and 6 people living on the bus and a dog. And like, where do we leave that other kid? And how are we going to do this? And then I calmed down over time. I was like, well, I think 4 years is great in between. And then it just, one kid is out of diapers before I get the next one.
It's
and
lovely.
I loved it. And,
you don't have to carry them both at the same time.
So was that a bit the same reason for you, or did you have another reason?
Well, that's probably another thing in my life as well. Like, we don't plan things. So Casper, he just happened to come. And he came just when Pontus was like, Michaela, now we're starting a new restaurant. You're not allowed to get pregnant or anything, just so you know. And I'm like, I'm not going to have a baby. I haven't thought of that at all. So no. And then a few weeks later, it's like, this is so typical. Just because he said that. It's like, okay, I think I'm going to be... Pontus, I'm sorry, but I'm pregnant. So, but then... yeah, sorry. What did you ask? Yeah, what did you ask?
It was about the time difference in between the 6 years.
Yeah, exactly. And and after that, we were like, we had one child. We weren't thinking about anyone else or any more children at all. We were doing as usual. We just worked, and then I had like 6 miscarriages.
So what? 6 miscarriages?
Yeah, the first one I didn't really think about. It happens. And the second I was like, yeah. And the third is like, And the fourth is like, it's a lot of miscarriages now, Emil. And the fifth is like, oh my God. And the sixth was actually when I was doing Kinnevik, if we want to get personal. The morning I was doing like this, the biggest party of my life. Then my boss was like, Michaela, we're meeting Christina Stenbeck in like 15 minutes. And I'm like, yeah. And my stomach was hurting so much. I was on the tube on my way to work. And I was just like, okay, I'm going to die. Is something wrong? Well, I don't know what it is, because I didn't know that I was pregnant either. And then I ran into a coffee shop. And I was like, I need to use your toilet. Yeah, you need to buy something. Yeah, but there's a crisis. Yeah, I'll have a fucking bun then. Take it with me. I'll take it with me. And I ran into the toilet. And then I had a miscarriage in the toilet.
What?
Yeah, so I had the miscarriage and was really big. And then, I had to like gather from that and then run to work and like, hello, Andreas. Yes, hello. Yeah, absolutely. Let's go working now. Mm-hmm.
And that was the day of the Diana Ross party.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's heavy. Okay.
Yeah, that was a shitty day.
You still do it. You still did everything. You didn't say like, I'm gonna back out.
Go home.
Yeah.
No, you don't do that. You didn't do that with my boss.
Wow.
You just solved the problem.
That's impressive, and also kind of
that's my life.
Weird.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't. If it's not a big thing.
Yeah. Some people
should have been a big thing.
Yeah. Some people might disagree there.
Yeah.
But maybe you can do that. Maybe you can compartmentalize and say, I'll deal with that later. This is now. I don't think I can. Maybe I can. I don't know. Anyways, I was thinking like, how do people do this? But there is some people take things like straight to the heart and it gets very personal. Some people deal with it later, or some people deal with it not at all. I don't know if it kind of hits you in the face later, or if you.
I think I'm the one. I don't deal with it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And does that work for you?
Mostly. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that
about those things,
it could be possible that works as well. Like we're all different.
Now Emil would be like, Michaela, sometimes we need to communicate. No, but since we were just like up in our lives and not thinking about having kids, then I wasn't. For me, those miscarriages wasn't like. Miscarriages. It wasn't that I was like, oh my God, I knew I was pregnant. Something happened. That was just like one day with where my stomach hurt really, really much, and then I was like, oh shit, I'm probably. Oh yeah, I am. And it was like in the 12th or 13th week every time. So.
And you never.
I don't know. I never got any feelings for it. I never got like to understand that I'm gonna have another child.
And you never went to a doctor to try to figure out what was happening?
After the 6 times we did.
Yeah, 6th.
Yeah,
okay.
Because for me...
We're a bit slow in our family.
Yeah.
Those 14 weeks or for me, the first 14 weeks of being pregnant, both times I was like super nauseous and felt really bad. I felt really pregnant in the shitty way. And it would be hard to ignore that or not live through it like consciously. But so you managed to be pregnant and put it kind of on the side.
Yeah, I didn't know I was pregnant. I didn't feel anything.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's also interesting. That's a completely different experience in that sense. And then maybe it is easier to let it go than when you're, I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, if I would have known it for like a few weeks before, then it's must be another thing. Because then you start thinking about it. I didn't think about it. I was like, shit, I'm probably pregnant. Oh, fucking hell. Oh.
With your other kids, you had a different feeling maybe in those first 12 weeks, or not?
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't feel it at all.
Also?
No, yeah.
Oh, so you never
I went through both my pregnancies not feeling a thing.
Till 12?
Yeah.
Week 12?
Yeah, absolutely. Until
13.
9 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or I mean, I understood that I was pregnant, but I didn't feel nauseous or anything like that. I was
jealous.
Just I was
that
just
part
like
I'm jealous
normal.
Of, not part of the other part where
not that
wrong. But
yeah. So no, I've just had.
So there was no difference between the miscarriages and your 2 actual pregnancies in at the start,
except for the day.
Wow.
Yeah, but no.
And then so time number 7, it went good. Then if
time number 7 is made in a tube.
On purpose then.
Okay.
Because then we've been to the doctor, and then it's like Michaela and Emil. Who is the one who's the default here? And then it was Emil. So his chromosomes number 5 and number 9, they changed their tails. And that, so he wasn't meant to have any children in his life ever. The doctor was like, you can't have children. And we're like, we have one. No, you can't have any children. No, but we have one. No, you can't have any children. Oh, yeah, shut up. We have one. He's 6 years old. You do. Yeah. He was like, no, that's such a lucky shot. It's like one in a trillion million.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we were like, okay, well, that's lucky. So is that why? Yeah, that's why we have had all those miscarriages, because your body's doing exactly what it should. Just you shouldn't have these because they were gonna get so missbildade, so wrong, or so they would never. They should not come out.
Yeah.
He was like, no, you don't. That you can't.
Yeah.
So your body's working exactly as it should. Oh, thank you. That's good to know.
Yeah.
So then we did the little guy in a tube. Yeah. Emil loved it. Michaela, I'm going to the doctor now. Yeah, but you don't look very well. No, I've got 40 degrees fever. Okay. But go into the toilet anyway and do it in a cup. Yeah, come on now. We need it. Yeah. Sorry, Emil.
Emil's gonna kill me. We might need to cut this.
Don't tell anyone, honey. No, I'm not telling anyone. No.
It's just
your friends. Oh, poor Emil.
Poor Emil, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but then we got the best kid ever.
Nice.
You know, Lucas. He's so nice and he's so kind and he's like, and we just picked the eggs and the sperm that was like, okay, these two are without symptoms. Those we take. It could have been like we take that one because it's got all of these good things in it and it's going to be such an intelligent person. But
they could take Emil still.
Yeah, he had a few, but he had to do it in a cup. And they had to look through like which ones that were healthy, and it wasn't very many. So it was like, I don't know. I think he had like 5 or 6 sperms, and he was like 1 healthy. So they took that one and put it into my egg, and then they put them together and then into my body.
Embryo is inserted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and that worked instantly. Then I guess
it worked the first time. Well, I think it worked from the first time.
Wow, perfect.
Yeah.
Because that's also a thing that it's not given
that's
to
hopeless.
Get. Yeah.
And I had to do all these shots all the time. And I was standing at the events and I was like, shit, it's just 10 o'clock. I need to do my shots now. And I'm like, I'm in the middle of, I can't do that. I was like, who's going to know if I do my shot like 2 hours later? So I did. And I was just shutting up. And I was like, okay, if we're not having a child now, it's my fault. And I have to tell Emil, but I won't tell him. No, I don't tell him anyone. I just shut up about it. So I was like...
But it worked.
It worked.
Yeah, so at some point it happened that you both really wanted a second child then?
Since when we started that, absolutely. Yeah, we needed then we wanted one. Yeah.
For complete a family, basically. Or
yeah, it can't just be 3. That's boring.
Yeah.
Is there going to be 5, 6, 7?
No. But Emil, the last year, it's been like, Michaela, shouldn't we have a little child? And I'm like, no, we won't.
2 hands, 2 kids, I always say.
We're too old and you can't do with children, honey. And we're not going to do it in a tube again. And I don't think they're going to let us do it in a tube. We're too old for that as well. So, no. No. We have 1 now, or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything on the horizon for you or maybe...
But she doesn't like to plant him.
Yeah, I know. So probably not then, but maybe there is.
You never know.
Is there anything?
Well, I'm going to go on with Mrs. Maggie in Duved and see how far that goes. And then we'll see. Yeah.
Because you said you didn't want to have your own restaurant, would never do it.
No.
You did it anyway.
Yeah.
Opportunity presented itself and you were like, yeah, let's do it, I guess. Well, I know from being here the last 3 years that it's been a bit of a challenge, but also you've brought a lot of joy to people's lives, I think, for being there and having the restaurant. Yeah, so I think that's very cool. Has it gotten to a bit of an easier period now? Have you found your way and your flow?
I found my way and my flow, but it's not easier just because I've done it for a long time. But still very hard to get it going. And that's mostly because I'm open all year round.
Yeah.
And
we live in a ski town.
Exactly. We live in a ski town. People are here during the winter.
Yeah.
So September, October, November, it's totally empty.
Yeah.
And then it's hard to have a restaurant. Absolutely.
But you don't see yourself closing then? If it's not...
I do a little bit, but I need to stay open because the bills, they come all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not like during the winter, I mean, it's just enough so I can like pay all the costs during the winter. They don't It's not that much money over, so I can stay closed all year.
But have you seen any progress in the last 3 years?
Well, the progress is from going totally minus to less minus to less minus to a little bit plus and then a little bit minus again. So it goes up and down.
And do you, let's not call it a plan, but do you have a dream of something you would still like to see happening here in Åre and Duved and maybe be a part of, maybe not be in charge of necessarily, but be a part of, or do you have any views like that?
Yeah, but it would be nice to see Duved grow more.
Yeah.
Åre could just like grow a little bit bigger, and so Duved comes into the area more. And that would give like all the guests, even from Åre and Duved, more of a nicer experience to get to see a little bit more, and to get Duved more as it was 25-30 years ago. That would be my goal. Like when people stay there to eat and drink, and there are boutiques, and you can actually be there like it's a small Åre, but it's Duved. But I want to keep it the Duved style because I love it. Everybody says hi to everybody. Everybody helps each other. Tourists come in and they're like, wow, you're so nice here. It's so nice to be here. Everybody's so nice. In every shop we've been in, they're so nice and helpful. And I love that. I love helping people and, making people feel like it's really nice staying here and stuff like that.
Oh, you definitely feel it in your place. It feels like home.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
And what is the way that Duved can grow? Because there are not that many commercial storefronts that can be rented, I guess. So do you see any vision in that, or is there talk about how they can improve that?
Well, they're talking about how they're going to build it, and there has been a lot of plans of how they're going to build new houses and new boutiques, and they're going to move ICA to another place, and they're going to build a lot of things. So we're just waiting for it, hoping it's going to happen soon.
I actually heard it's going to happen, the ICA change, that there's going to be a new square. And then
when are they going to move?
I was talking to the owner of the ICA, and he said it's going to happen, but I don't know a date.
But we still don't know when.
I don't know a date yet. No, but
apparently in Åre you do not believe anything until it's actually happening.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course.
Like the lesson.
We're going to have a walking path along as well from Åre to Duved.
Yes, one day.
Yeah, 35 years ago they started.
Yeah.
So, but it would be nice to see it to just be living up more. So I'm trying to do events, and I'm having after ski and the quizzes and the girls' evenings and other evenings and loppisar and stuff like that. Just to I want people to see that there is happening stuff in Duved as well.
What is your most successful event?
That must be the girls' bubbly evening.
Yeah, that's a good one. I went to one. It was very full.
So nice.
Very nice.
So much people. The sun was shining. It was, it was just perfect. And people were coming in, no, Michaela, I can't find a seat. I have to go. And I'm like, no, you're kidding. I've got more chairs here. I'm just going to go and get some more chairs. So that was really fun.
Yeah.
Really, really fun.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Is there anything or a place where people can follow what's happening in Mrs.
Like
Maggie's?
my Instagram.
Instagram?
Yes. Instagram, Mrs. Maggie Duved. Yes.
So you announce everything there? Yeah.
There I pronounce everything, yeah.
Nice.
And have a look at my website as well.
Yeah.
I'm not a professional. I do everything on my own. So everything that doesn't look very professional, that's because I'm behind it. And I'm good in the restaurant. But
Yeah.
It should be there.
Do you have any advice for people who are listening and think, I should start a restaurant or a bar in Åre or Duved? What would you tell them?
Duved preferably then, I guess.
And let's just let someone else open it and just go and work there and have fun. And get paid advice. Instead of just paying for working.
Yeah.
No, but think a lot before you do it. Because it is really hard work, and it's a 24/7 thing. Everybody's like, Michaela, you're closed on Monday and Tuesday. It's so nice to be off, isn't it? Yeah, but I'm not off. The restaurant is closed, but I'm not off. That's when I do all my work. That's when the thinking, the marketing, the economics, the facturer, paying everything. That's when everything needs to happen. Otherwise, I'm cooking. And that's not when anything else happens. And people want to have meetings and everything. And it's like, no. I can only meet on Monday and Tuesday because otherwise I'm in service and I can't talk and work at the same time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so think before you do it. Realize that it's not that busy all year round.
No, exactly.
Comes and goes.
Open a restaurant in a good place where there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time. If you're going to be open all the time. You need to, if you don't see you, you won't. It's going to be so hard. Yeah.
Well, thanks for that advice. That is a good one.
How good it was, but yeah.
And you said you like traveling. Do you have any travel plans in the near horizon?
Yeah, we're going to the Alps next winter.
Nice.
Or this winter, 2025.
Where are you going to?
Probably around, where is it? Close to Chamonix somewhere. Yeah.
Cool. To wrap it up, we have some rapid fire fun, if you're ready.
Yeah.
Skiing or snowboarding?
Skiing, of course. Or telemarketing.
Hiking or biking?
Biking.
Sauna or hot tub?
Hot tub.
Evening person or morning person?
Yeah.
Both. All day.
Yep.
Nice. That's all. Thank you so much. You have another one, by the way.
I have one more, yeah.
Oh, God.
Champagne or cava?
Champagne.
Oh, the real deal.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Well, thanks for your talk. It's really nice.
Yeah. Very
really
fun
lively.
being here. Yeah.
Listening to all your stories, really good.
Yeah. We finally know a bit of the lifeline of Michaela.
Yeah. Now we need to get Emil on the couch and hear his side.
His side of the version of the, yeah.
That would actually be good.